Pashtun. His videos are in Pashtun, and basically has this radical movement in his own. He says he has his own, CIA agency that's going to help him overthrow the government in Afghanistan and, bring in this new ruling class. And he also put out videos where homosexuals should be killed. So you know where the son got the rhetoric from. You know where the son got those ideas from. So for that father to come out and act shocked that his son did this, it's completely and totally ridiculous. This man belongs behind bars. Now, on top of that, I've actually just spoke with a man who survived. He gave me that was chilling.
Okay, his Skype is breaking up, but if you look at drudgereport.com, we also have the video on Infowars.com, shows the father in a new video dressed up in a military outfit, doing YouTube videos in a military outfit, recruiting people, saying God will punish the gays. So, I mean, it's clear. This guy is a wind-up toy of daddy, and I bet they have him on MSNBC praising him and asking him to teach us the wisdom of the jihad or something. I mean, I even forgot to get to that. Meanwhile, there's still, if you're not on drudgereport.com or Infowars.com or WorldNet Daily, they are still blaming gun owners, and Hillary and Bernie Sanders say they're coming after our guns. Matt Bracken, do you really think they'll be able to sell this on their idiot constituents, or is there any point at which people are going to wake up and the homosexuals are going to realize under Sharia law in 11 countries, you will have your head chopped off? Okay, I'm not the one chopping your dumb head off.
I think this is a big wake-up call. I think this is a transformative moment. In a sense, this was a twofer. He attacked a gay club on Latino night. So any progressive gay Latinos, however many of them there are in the United States, they ain't voting for Hillary. I can tell you that much. Gun owners just went out and bought another case of 5.56 and 7.62. I can tell you, and a couple more cases of survival food. They can plan this, but like I often say, a plan to ride the tiger is not the same as riding the tiger. And they try to take our guns away. They're going to be trying to ride the tiger, and they're going to get the teeth.
Doesn't it let Petraeus and all these people know that when my reporters, anywhere they go in the world, or our listeners now know who they are? We're not just watching Dancing with the Stars. We know who the card deck of criminals and traitors are. It's got to really let them understand they're not invincible. They're not gods. If they try to start a civil war in this country, they're going to be brought to justice.
Important. It's very important, and that's why I was so glad to see the video of disgraced, suborned, sold-out, bribed General Petraeus running away. That is going to be the video of his career. And I don't want to just harp on General Petraeus, but all the other sellout generals that are sliding out of the Pentagon over to some quote-unquote global hedge fund, which is money laundering operation for Saudi dirty money to spread jihad and Sharia law through the world, as long as they can get their millions.
Sure.
Well, Infowars and other people are going to be there with a camera.
Let's expand on this, and we're going to go back to calls and then back to Biggs as his Skype degraded. What are they thinking, though, the Saudis? Because they claim, oh, we just export the terror so it doesn't hit us. No, they don't build 1,000 mosques a year overseas, hundreds here every few years, to just export it. This is how they're taking over. This has been their plan forever. This is what the Wahhabists are doing. They've been very, very successful. And then now we sit here and see Major Hassan getting programming from Saudi Arabia, the Fort Hood shooter. We see the San Bernardino going to Saudi Arabia. We see this guy going to Saudi Arabia. We know what's going on. His father, his brother-in-law shooting their mouths off, running around stirring stuff up, running the refugee invasion. I mean, they know what they're doing. It's a military operation. I just can't believe Obama thinks he's actually going to get away with this, because
this is why they have to get you off the air, because sure, you're just the Alex Jones show. You're not Tom Brokaw, coming out of retirement pinch hitting on NBC. You're just a guy on videos, right? But you're a feeder for the entire world, because we get our information off of YouTube. It doesn't matter where it shows up first. And they have to get rid of Matt Drudge. They're not even going to allow him to put up the title, a headline, a link. Hillary Clinton is pushing this UN Resolution 1618, which is an anti-quote-unquote blasphemy law. It's very important to understand that in Islam, blasphemy does not mean telling an untruth about Islam. Blasphemy means saying anything that harms Islam. I'll give you an example. If you say that Muhammad ordered the beheadings of thousands of bound, captured prisoners, and then the taking of their wives as sex slaves, and Muhammad himself took 20% as his cut, all of that is true. And in American jurisprudence, the truth is an absolute defense against libel, blasphemy, what you want to call it. In Islam, truth has nothing to do with anything, just doesn't harm Islam. So Hillary Clinton is actively pushing for UN resolutions which would not allow us, we'd be as hamstrung as the Germans, getting arrested or ticketed for telling the truth about Muhammad. And this is the future that we have under our sellouts. I go back to Carlos Ilyich Ramirez Sanchez, the Jackal. It has to be a coalition of socialists and Islamists to take down America, the great Satan. And they're well on their way. It's a program. It's a plan. Hand together, the left and the Islamists, to destroy freedom.
I want to ask you this question, and we're going back to Joe Biggs.
Obama's an Alinskyite.
Sure. But when they start having a couple attacks a week, and this all goes on, I guess they've psychologically tested the left. They think they'll just submit and blame us that are criticizing Islam. And I guess a lot of liberals are so cuckolded and under such mass Stockholm syndrome that they're going to go out and actually join Islam. In fact, there's a new trend where liberal women go and find an Islamic man and he bosses her around and she likes that. They'll even leave their husband that has kids to go, I guess it has to be a new form of bondage. And so that's the new trendy thing. And all these liberal publications and things like the Huffington Post tell women, make the Muslims comfortable. You need to start wearing a hijab. And I'm seeing it more and more. Women think it's really sexy and trendy. So are they so weak and never had daddies, or they hate daddy so much that they don't want to go to somebody that looks like daddy? They want to go to somebody that looks like Habib and will maybe chain them up because it's kind of sexy. I mean, is this kind of like the furthest, the next phase of 50 Shades of Grey is to be an Islamic rape camp, supporting the rape of 5-year-old girls by 100 men until the girl dies? That's a real case.
It's an unbelievable level of cognitive dissonance. To imagine being a feminist and saying on the one hand that college campuses, which the few men that are left, I think it's like 40%, are a bunch of rapists, right? But you ignore the fact that women are being sold as sex slaves in Islamic countries today. If you look there, Hillary Clinton put out a Ramadan tweet saying, as we enter Ramadan, and there are pictures of her and Chelsea with Arafat wearing hijabs with big ass-eating grins on their faces, hugging up on Arafat, the terrorist, in a keffiyeh. I wouldn't be surprised a bit if she had already converted. They don't have to tell you. Remember Taqiyya. They can announce later.
And her girlfriend's a Saudi. Her lesbian girlfriend's a Saudi.
Yeah, Huma. Yeah, it's a crazy time, but I think that people are waking up. The question is, what will the left do? What will the left Islam coalition running the White House do if they see people waking up and say demanding? For example, I remember they brought in a bunch of illegal aliens about 2 years ago during a big border push, and people out in California went and stopped the bus, crowded around the bus.
It's incredible. We got Joe Biggs here, but you're right. We just put up our tweet. As we begin Ramadan, we want to salute all the women sexually mutilated and wearing bags over their heads. No, she says, as we begin Ramadan, I wish all Muslims a blessed time of reflection, family, and good health. And then she puts out this Ramadan statement. Let's go ahead and go back to Joe Biggs, and I'm going to Margaret, Diane, Robert, Chad. I promise I'm going to your calls. Joe Biggs, I'm told you're chomping. We got you back on phone. Go ahead.
Roger that, Alex. I actually had the opportunity to speak with someone who survived the shooting and made it out. I spoke to another man whose friend was a straight guy. He's married, had children. He was bartending and was shot in the leg 3 times. He said he could hear the bullets shattering bone, piercing flesh. Like the whole room was full of smoke, and each person I've talked to said there was multiple shooters inside of this nightclub, not just one, like the mainstream media is telling everyone. Every person I've talked to says they believe that there are multiple shooters, which means there is still someone or persons on the loose out here.
Wow, so that's the breaking news. Start over. This is important, Joe. Joe Biggs reporting from Orlando. Start over. Talk about who you've talked to. I hope this is on video. This is going to be huge.
Yes, we have it all on video. One of the guys, I reached out to a whole bunch of people, names that I saw posting on the Pulse Facebook page of people who said they had friends who were injured and or were injured themselves. And I reached out to these people, and I was able to set up some interviews today. I spoke with one man, his friend. She has the viral Snapchat video that TMZ has posted everywhere. She was filming, and you can hear the gunshots, and then the video freezes. That's when she is hit by multiple gunfire and dies right there on that Snapchat footage. And I have footage of that man talking about the story and his friend and about her. I talked to another man who is a straight man as well. He actually goes to that club. He has a lot of friends, and his buddy was a male bartender, a straight man, married, has kids. And he was explaining what the bartender was going through. He said that the bartender saw this man walk into the bar and automatically felt something was wrong. And the next thing you know, he heard gunfire, dropped to the ground, and he heard bones splintering, screaming, yelling. People were cut, covered in glass, in blood, crawling across the ground. He said complete and total chaos.
Can we analyze any of the acoustics? How many witnesses, Joe, that you've talked to say, we're about to go to break here, and we'll come back right with you. How many people have you talked to that say they saw multiple shooters or heard different shots from different angles?
2 people I've talked to in person so far today, and then other videos on CBS, ABC News where these people are explaining how they believe there was multiple shooters and then they were cut off the air.
Well, sure. They don't want to investigate this guy's mosque. I know that. You got the imam saying that it's good to kill the gays, and his dad says it too, but they're all innocent. The gun owners are to blame. Working on breaking news during the breaks. Almost didn't get back in here on time. Leanne McAdoo's here. She's going to be riding shotgun some into the next hour with David Knight. We have our guest, Matt Bracken of enemiesforeigndomestic.com. I'm Alex Jones at Infowars.com. I almost want to just let Joe Biggs go and get back to their hotel and take these newscasts, these pieces, and these witnesses and put it out. Witnesses say there were multiple shooters. Drudge has a link to an article. Did he have help? I mean, come on, folks. His daddy was putting videos out saying, kill the gays. His imam is saying it on TV. The other imam is saying it in town. The truth is, folks, these people are very arrogant about what they're doing. And the bizarreness is we're then being blamed as gun owners and patriots on the news, like, see what your guns did again? See, and literally, Hillary and Obama brought these people in. She's gotten over $100 million the last 6-7 years in her foundation from Gulf state dictators. $100 million. Her alone. She lives like a total queen. She's running around with this gimmick. She's a woman. Talking about blessed Ramadan. And the feminists just love it. What a group of freaks and evil people. And I've never seen Leanne McAdoo this mad. I guess she was out doing reporting, but wanted to come back to Austin. She was so upset. I was getting texts from like midnight from her. I was sawing logs. And so Leanne McAdoo's here. We're going to go back and say bye to Biggs and let him finish up and then take calls with Bracken here. And don't worry, callers, Margaret and Mark and Robert and Chad and others. First-time callers, you want to get involved, 800-259-9231. In fact, I probably just shouldn't make people hold for an hour and then make them wait. That's not good. So I'm going to flush the calls, boom. And we're going to let everybody call back in, first-time callers, 800-259-9231, specifically on this, 800-259-9231. Briefly, I got to pay some bills here. It's the last day we're doing it because they didn't take the special down for the air purifier system that comparable units are like $400 or more. It's normally $240. It's $180-something right now, 26% off the Alexa Pure Breeze at InfoWarsStore.com. It's an amazing system. We produce triple amount of living defense, harmful organism, parasite cleanse. It's a great formula. But it's so hard to source all these ingredients and have them totally clean and pure. It took us 6 months to get the 27 ingredients and to have this produced by our Texas lab. So it's $34.95, but I'm going to end that special today. So we hold back a little bit in the next month before more comes in. It might be 3 or 4 months again. We're hoping it's just a month. But InfoWarsLife.com, get your living defense today. Amazing results for myself. You can read the reviews at InfoWarsLife.com or InfoWarsStore.com is the umbrella site. And your purchase of the products, whether it's storable food or non-GMO airline